Pictured here is the Bateman Island land bridge. I walked this island for the last time just before Thanksgiving, knowing they were going to close it soon after and start the demolition. It's a really cool place to hike. A lot of trails just like this one that wind through, and you can find anything from bald eagles, hawks. I've always wanted to photograph an owl out here. I never got a chance. There's a small herd of deer out here usually most of the time. It's also a great place for fishermen. Fishermen used to buy bait across the street over there. There used to be a bait store there. And you'd see the banks lined with fishermen. Still, even before they closed it, when I was out here hiking, found some fishermen out here on this point. So, the islands had a lot of uses. But I found out, just, doing a little research, that the land bridge was actually put in by a farmer in 1939, 1940, so he could get his cattle across over here to graze. And as you can see, and over the years, people have used it for, like I say, hiking paths and so forth. But the focus of this is basically getting rid of the land bridge so that the Yakima River will flow freely again on the other side of the island, actually turning it into an island again. So as we follow out through some of these paths, I kind of thought it'd be kind of nice to go out here to the point. Up ahead here we have the Columbia River in front of us, and off to the left is the Yakima. It's actually the mouth of the Yakima, or the Yakima River Delta. It's kind of spills in right here to the Columbia. Well, what's happened with this land bridge is that it's blocked the water off the natural flow around the island, and it's caused a lot of stagnant areas in the backwater. I'll gimbal up here a little bit so you can see off in the distance there to the far right is a Pasco-Richland Bridge, and then some little islands in this delta. But all this water back here, this is all backwater of the Yakima. It fills this area back here. And the problem is, in the summertime, it can get as high as 90 degrees, the water temperature back here. Algae grows, and it can become quite nasty. It also, so the biologists say, impedes the salmon from making their way up the Yakima River. So they're hoping that they'll get more salmon to move up the river once they open up this channel. And then they're also afraid of invasive species that breed and actually live in these waters, bass that feed on the small salmon before they can make it downstream. So to keep the salmon from becoming small snacks for bass, they're going to take out this bridge. This is the land bridge now as it looked the other day after they came in and cleared a bunch of trees this past week. It's the weekend and nobody's working today, but you can see how they've stripped all the vegetation off of it. Took a bulldozer, flattened it out a little bit there so they can get their trucks back and forth. And they've got this pile of trees left back here. And it looked like from when I flew over it a couple times that they were grinding up the trees and spreading them out onto the island. So here's the next work day. You can see flew over, got 2 excavators working, some kind of chipper back there, a grinder, and they're really making some short work out of this. They've done a great job. So you can see this is where they're going to probably breach it first, of course, and work their way back to land. So they're spreading stuff back here. They've got rid of the pile of trees. Looks like using that grinder there. They've separated out some boulders. And looks like they're just working on cleaning up the sides. Shot of the island here. You can see the path with wood chips. Excavator there. Operator on his tracks there waiting for a dump truck to back in. And they're just working away, taking down the sides, narrowing this thing up a little bit. A couple days later, I come out here. I'm going to do my dolly shot here. Practice this little dolly shot. I kind of like doing it. We'll do a little reveal of the land bridge. Man, you can see that excavator's been busy the last couple days. They've taken down the height of that land bridge, so it's right down on top of the water right now. Got the little excavator still back there cleaning up. I was kind of hoping to see them breach it here, but I'm not so sure they'll make it this week. They're working there cleaning up the shore and loading dump trucks. They've been stationing them out there in the street. I think they had about 6 trucks they were running in and out of here. Here's one coming down right now. And you can see how they've put the silt barriers up. We'll get a little shot of the island here. I'll raise up so we can kind of, if you look out there, you can really see a lot of the trails, and you can see where there's trails down to the water, to where the fishermen would walk down to cast out from this island. And then here we'll do another dolly shot or reveal here. See how they've tapered down the ramp there for being able to get the trucks down onto this. I've taken it down quite a bit. We're looking up the Yakima right there. That's the channel they're going to open up. And let's see if they decided to breach this yet. Nobody's here. It's the weekend, so let's see what they got done. Well, doesn't look like there's any flow yet. But boy, they're getting close. They're getting really close. Looks like they've taken in the sides there pretty close. And got a small dam set up there for the weekend. And yeah, I think it won't be long and they'll be breaching that. A little spin back around to the trail there. It's a pretty good area. The island itself, and then all the water too, that if you look, that's a pretty good sized channel that it's gonna open up. Looks like they're back at work and we're taking her down. I mean, even further. So looking downstream here at the Columbia River. And be able to see the Y there on the right. They call it the Richland Y. Well, this is the day they tell me they've breached the levee or the walkway, causeway, whatever they're calling it this week. So we'll do a nice little reveal. I can see we've got a lot of silt in the water down here. Looks like the catchers are doing a good job of holding the silt back. And they're in here with the excavator, and they've opened her up. Yep, they've got a nice bit of water coming through there. The guys were telling me they thought it was going to run backwards. There was a whole group up there that was convinced that the river was going to go the opposite way. Well, we can see now that it's flowing pretty freely, and we can call this an island now again. Kind of nice. You figure the water hasn't flown past there in 85 years. It's a long time. I don't know if there'd be anybody alive right now that's actually remembers seeing the water open and the water running by. A good look at our silt down there. It looks like it's doing a really good job of catching the silt, keeping it from going downstream. Every now and then I see him grab onto that yellow containment with the boat and pull it back upstream, tighten the lines up. So there's quite a push against there, I can see that. So let's take a little spin around the tip of the island. We're going to go moving downstream and just kind of move with the current along the shoreline here. The Richland Y and out in front of us. We make our way around the point. You can see that there's not much left of the causeway. It's down. I mean, down almost level with the water. Not much above the water right now, and you can see it breached and water flowing pretty freely into the Columbia Park there in the distance. The Reach Museum with the gold top on it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I think have mixed feelings. You know, we're losing our hiking area, fishing area, but we're actually putting the river back the way it was flowing naturally, and I think that's the right thing to do. And see if we don't get rid of some of this stagnant water behind us. It'd be kind of interesting to see if those islands will fly over them once it's all open, to see if we got bigger islands sitting out there once the water starts flowing good. So we'll bring this down for a landing and bring this video to a close. Thanks for watching. I'll try and put another one out as we open this up a little further.